we got.
Is the lighting good or?
Oh yeah, I can see you very well. All right, I got your audio. I'm tracking you. Just a bit.
Kind of.
Say again.
I'm kind of nervous.
Ah man, you be all right.
I have never done interviews like this.
Hey, it's the first time for everything. You might want to get used to it, man. More people
Yeah.
get to know your art, and then there'll be more interviews, and you're gonna practice.
I've been thinking about opening a YouTube channel, but my English speaking is not the best. So,
Well, to that, I say I've seen YouTube videos with people whose English is lower than yours. So I mean, it'll work. People can find you.
hopefully.
Maybe you could do dual. Do it in your language and in English, or however you feel whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yes. Maybe. But hopefully I will look at it.
Yeah, man, we live in the best time to create content, to be creative, especially now since nobody can go nowhere really.
YouTube is big. They have a lot of views, like 1 million, 2 million.
Yeah, I'm working on 5. I mean, not 100, not just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You will get there, man. You will get there.
All right, let's see. Turn this off. Now, when I say your name is Abdul Malik.
Yes, Abdul Malik.
All right, I got that right. Usually I get all the names wrong, foreign and domestic.
Your name is Robert?
Rob, yes.
Okay. Well,
Well, that's my name for the show. My name is Shannon. For the
okay,
show is Rob.
that's cool.
Or whatever you feel comfortable with. It doesn't matter. I'm the same person either way. Rob don't do nothing extra that Shannon does. So I mean,
Maybe he's a heel.
all right. So I'm gonna do the intro for the show. I'm
Okay,
gonna introduce you, and then we'll just continue on with our conversation, man.
sounds good.
Pull one more thing up. Right. Okay. Scrolling. I'm just trying to get some things pulled up here. All right. What up, everybody? This is your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I appreciate you very much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, go ahead and take your social media app of choice and send them a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Ramblings with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at the 3R Show, YouTube, look for 3R Show. I'm on Twitch, look for 3R Show. And for anything that I may have forgot to mention, you can go to randomrob.com and find anything and everything pertaining to the show. Now, have a guest joining me from where I've come to know him, from the world of Instagram, because I pull people from all parts of the internet. He is one that I got familiar with his artwork because I am a professional wrestling fan. Everybody knows this that listens to the show, and my sub show, Wrestling is Trash, that you all should be listening to as well whenever I put out an episode because it's not as frequent. But anyway, par from the course. And I've seen this young man do um, multiple things that, it took me back to my days when I was here just a clicking and clacking away on Photoshop and trying to learn the different tools and everything and gradients and all this other madness and photography. I got this cool camera over here that's been sitting here collecting dust that I need to get back into, but that remains to be seen. He's been doing art for various WWE and freaking AEW and just whoever you have an interest in. He's probably done some artwork on this individual. But joining me from the world of Instagram, as I mentioned, one Abdul Malik. How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me, man. I'm so honored to be here.
Man, I am honored to have you here. You are behind a couple of pieces here that I thoroughly enjoyed. I think maybe the first one that I saw of yours was I'm trying to pull it up here because I want to be accurate in my speak. I believe it was around the time that I believe it was Alexa Bliss and it was Sasha Banks. They did the show over there in where it was India. Yeah. And they had the long sleeved outfits and everything. And I seen some work that you did there. And I also seen some random spots to where I think you had Sasha Banks with the Dudley Boys or something like that with the tag titles. And I was like, who is making all this stuff? And then I go check into it and boom, there you are. I immediately followed you on my Instagram and I've been trying to keep up with you ever since.
Actually, that Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks design got me noticed by WWE office in the Middle East. That's how I got noticed from their office.
Word.
The first design, I got noticed by them.
Now, what was the inspiration? I mean, was it just like the historic value of this event that made you want to create the art?
Yes, the first women's match in the Middle East, like that's big. So I had to do something for it.
Word. Now, some of your later pieces that I would come to see after this, it was later on down the line. It was more of like it was almost childhood through someone else's eyes and everything. Like one of the recent pieces I seen was the little girl spitting the water and everything, and with Triple H on the TV and everything like that. Was there something behind you wanting to create that piece, or was it just something that, it came to your mind and it just boom on the canvas?
Like I wanted to do or represent like the Saudi fans story to the millions like in the world, like who doesn't know our story, like us, we are real wrestling fans, we love it like from 20 years ago. So I want to do like something to tell the story,
Okay, and I can understand that because, I mean, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I mean, we all can like the same things because, I mean, your view that you depict in your artwork here is no different from the same emotions and feelings I had as a child watching
Everyone.
professional wrestling. I mean, it's universal. It's for everyone, So,
Of course.
so what got you here? What got you to start creating your artwork and pursuing that?
I worked on website forums like wrestling reviews. Like I do reviews like you for like Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. I do reviews for them, but I needed like designs to announce it, to promote it. So that's how I learned Photoshop, and the story goes to here. Like I learned from there. Now I'm here. Like
Yeah. So it was more like, all right, I do these reviews,
I
and
needed to learn how to make them,
yeah,
so the page will look good.
and then you're like me because if I do them, I can do them for free. I don't have to pay anybody, you know. So I mean, that's always a great skill to have, just the know-how and just
But
the.
then I like like I used it like just to post the reviews. But then I went deep into the Photoshop world,
Mhm.
and I learned everything. Like to this day, like I still want to learn more for Photoshop.
Mhm. Well, unfortunately for me, we always talking about money since we started talking. But like Photoshop has gotten pretty expensive. You know, it's just they charge every month now and all this other stuff, and it's forced me to take my creative talents, if you will, to
Yes.
other programs like Affinity Pro, and I think there's a app called Gimpy or something like that. I mean, it's totally free, but Affinity Pro you have to pay for, and it's not really different. I'm not trying to sell you on something that you're
No, no.
not uncomfortable with, but it's just like it doesn't matter the tools. It's just long as you put your all into it, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I, I didn't want to pay money for Photoshop right now. Now, when you were learning to do these things and put stuff together,
Yeah.
what do you think was the most difficult tool to master?
I spent years like trying to learn. Like the first years, I just put designs like anything just to post the reviews. But then I watch YouTube tutorials. And actually, my brother is a designer himself.
No.
Uh,
So it run in the family.
yeah, I learned a lot from him.
So like out of all the things you've done, and I got your Instagram up here. I mean, it's just lots of content, lots of content. Out of
The worst.
all all the things you've done so far, what do you think is your favorite piece?
uh, oh, it has to be the "This Is Hope" piece for the Sasha Banks Alexa Bliss
Yeah.
match, Abu Dhabi.
So there was one of them to where the girl wearing the outfit looking at yeah.
That was one special. Even I showed it to Sasha
Yeah, I got to
when
see that video.
when she came to Dubai. That was special.
Now
Everything that was special.
now I have a question about that. So we before we started recording properly, you were saying how you were a little bit nervous to do this and everything and whatnot. Now meeting Sasha Banks, I mean, what's the different level? I mean, what's the nervousness compared to talking to me and talking to Sasha Banks?
It was more to be but but she was so kind, so down to earth. Like it was easy to be honest.
Now, you also were able to present something to Becky Lynch as well, correct?
Yes, last year in Dubai.
So what was that? Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who were you more nervous to meet?
I was a fan of Sasha, like big fan. So maybe I did not have the same nerves as meeting Becky.
Okay, okay, all right. And then which one did you meet first? You met Sasha first, right?
Yeah.
All right. So by then you was already a pro. You already had practice. You was like, all right, this is cool. I know what to do now.
Maybe I have problems with I get nervous most of the time. I have problems with that anxiety.
Mhm.
I still battle it to this day.
Yeah. And I can understand that because I've been doing this for about 4 years or a little more. And every single recording, I feel comfortable, but there's
Yeah,
still nerves because like right now, I just like my shirt is kind of damp right now. And like I'm not really nervous, but it's just how my body reacts to when I sit in this chair and I turn this microphone on. It's just like, oh.
even when I post like designs, I get nervous before posting it. Like everyone is going to see it. What are their thoughts? Like, are they going to hate me or something?
Yeah. And and that's just, that's kind of one of the yays and the boos with the internet. It's a great place to get feedback and post your creativity for everyone to see, but at the same time, you got that small few that just about everything.
To this day, like I'm doing this like for maybe 4 years. To this day, I get nervous.
and, and I guess I don't think it's a bad thing. I guess it shows your passion for it.
Of
You,
course,
if someone would be wrong if you didn't have some little amount of nerves.
you really care about it, you will get nervous.
Exactly. So like the one question that I did have, because you do a lot of stuff for Chris Jericho. I mean, is that like commission stuff or that just
Yes,
it kind of happened?
I don't think I will be talking to you if it wasn't for his support. Like he always asks me for designs for his new shows, for anything. Like even memes, he asked me to do memes. He's the best.
Now, so
The,
I mean,
the goat.
yeah, this is true. I mean, he even had it on his tights and everything, so it has to be true.
Demo god too.
Demo guide. So we've known you've met Becky Lynch, you met Sasha Banks. Um, who are some of the other individuals that you were able
This
to?
year was Bailey and Naomi.
Mhm.
Yes, and
Now,
I met Jericho
yeah. Now
2000.
you say Naomi. Now that's my big nervous right there. So if I would have got to meet Naomi, I'd be like, "Whoo!" I've been really nervous.
I did not feel anything. She was the nicest. You should meet her.
Oh, hey man, since you in there, I mean, you
Yeah,
can kind of pass some information to me. I'll.
hopefully, hopefully.
But so you've met so many people because of your art and everything like that. A thing that I want to kind of go back to is this was art was inspired by professional wrestling. When did
Yes.
professional wrestling come into your life?
Since I was like 4, or it's a family tradition. Like everyone watched it. Like my grandfather was the biggest fan. Like my grandfather, my father, and my older brothers too. I got it from them.
Okay. So for me, I think I'm a first generation wrestling watcher or whatever. Cause my father, uh, he would tease me. He'd be like, that's fake, right? Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the world.
I was like, Dad, he hit him with a chair. It's gotta be real, you know. But he didn't do it in a bad way. It was kind of just to like mess with me.
That was school friends. They told me like that, teased me all the time.
But I mean, later on in life, you get older, you get a little bit smarter and everything, and you would discover these things on your own. So with my kids, I watch it and they'll occasionally watch it. They don't watch it as much as I do. But the oldest child, my older child, she's like, I don't think this is real. But I didn't say anything. I was like,
Yeah,
well, I mean, they get hurt. So I mean, you can't get hurt faking, right? So,
Nothing fake.
well, we all know that the physical part of it is real. I mean, you can't,
So
put
real.
it aside, but maybe just the situations are the ones that are created.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I say. I'll never call it fake. It's just different.
But for me, it was real for me. Like from when I was a child,
Yeah.
I was. But unfortunately, these days, like the shows are not the best. Like your daughter, the shows are not the best.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she would be like in your place, like
Mhm.
20 years ago, maybe she would be a fan.
Well, if she was in my place 20 years ago, I would be extra old. But yeah, I do agree. The product has changed, but I think, because I've watched it way back when, all the way up until now. I've had breaks in between because, there were times I could not watch it. But I just come to realize that I'm a fan of wrestling in general. You know,
Yeah,
later years I discovered different companies because I was brought up on WWF, WWE. That's all I really knew. I knew WCW when it came around, but once it went away, I still stuck with WWF. And then up until maybe 5 years ago, that's when I really started watching other types of wrestling. Another one that's a big one to me is New Japan Pro Wrestling. I like that a lot.
that's I discovered the New Japan in 2014. Like G1 2014 was the best.
Yeah, I like the G1. It's just
Yes,
sometimes if you want to get ahead of the spoilers, you got to
yes,
stay up pretty late. Well, for me
yes.
at least, I mean, it might be different on your side.
It was great for me. Like in the afternoon, I watched the shows.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
for me it'd be like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. So
Oh,
I'm sleep.
that's for us. Like Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. I watch it in the morning or afternoon.
All right, so that's where you get the New Japan in the afternoon, and I get the
Yeah.
Raw and SmackDown in the evening. So I guess we
Yeah.
tied. But as far as your wrestling experience goes, have you ever thought about pursuing a career in professional wrestling?
Actually, before becoming a designer, I wanted to be a professional wrestling, but there's no school in my country or even the Middle East. Now there's maybe two schools, maybe in Dubai or that, but not like 2014 or 2015. So I did not. But I pursued designing, like for wrestling.
Hmm.
I want to contribute to anything to get in the inside of the business.
Okay, and this is probably easier on your body as well.
Yes, longevity.
Yeah, you don't have to fall off a ladder or nothing like that. You can create people falling off a ladder in
Yeah,
your art, but not you.
the best.
What has been so far your favorite wrestling moment or wrestling pay-per-view?
Wow, wrestling moment. Wow. I have to think about that.
Okay, we'll come back to it. So I know WWE didn't really come over that way a lot in the past, but then they started doing the Riyadh shows and everything like that, and you were able to go to a few of those or one of those, right?
Yes, from 2014, like in April. I still remember the date, 21 April 2014.
So what was that experience like for you?
Like magic. Like when I saw the set, I was about to fall. was so magical. Like seeing the set, even the set was not like it was a house show set, like not the Raw SmackDown set. But I was so mesmerized by the show and seeing Cena, Ambrose, Cody Rhodes, even Randy Orton, Mark Henry, Big Show. I can't name all all the wrestlers.
So that was further back. That was before they started doing the pay-per-views out there, right?
They did house shows like for 3 years maybe. And
Okay.
2018 they started the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? It was it's huge, the biggest Royal Rumble they ever put on. I thought when they did one that Del Rio one, that was a 40-man one.
Yes,
I thought they would never go larger
that,
than that.
that was not the best.
I,
But like every superstars, like from the past, from the present, everyone, even the great Carly was in it.
yeah. Now, what I remember about the one that Del Rio one, I remember it because I called into a show or some kind of contest or something like that, and that was the prize. They gave away that DVD of that Royal. So it's not in here, but it's in my movie room. But yeah, I kept it.
Actually stayed up late for that pay-per-view, like in the morning. I
I'm
still remember Booker T return Diesel. That was the returns were awesome,
yeah.
but like results, no.
So it's safe to say you're not too fond of
Yeah,
Alberto
of
Del Rio.
course. It's,
So we won't go your favorite all time, but
no,
who is two of your favorite professional wrestlers currently? One male, one female.
that's female Sasha Banks.
Okay. I
Like
mean, yeah, duh, right?
I'm the biggest mark of hers, but male. Uh,
Dolph Ziggler.
are you a cigarette fan?
But he's not your number one.
Maybe Daniel Bryan,
Oh,
but he's not stuff unfortunately. Like they're not doing stuff with him in the SmackDown.
and then his wife is pregnant too, so he probably tended to her there.
Yeah.
Now, you had a little time to think about it. I know I kind of derailed you a little bit, but we're gonna go back to the previous question of favorite wrestling moment and pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, I'm going to say Money in the Bank 2011.
Oh, this John Cena
I
CM
stayed,
Punk, right?
yes, I stayed up late for that one. Like I had to watch that main event. It was so good. But the other one, favorite match?
Moment, or you can go with match too.
Favorite match. That's so hard.
All right, I'll give you a little more time. So, other than professional wrestling, huh?
Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ibushi.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, yeah, that was one.
that match had me like, wow,
Mhm,
like to this day, like from 2015, and I'm still wowed by that match.
mhm.
So good.
A lot of people are sleeping. They're not putting a lot of stock into New Japan, and that's really unfortunate. They should be paying more attention. If you can afford the service that they provide, New Japan World, I highly recommend it.
From 2014 to 2015, that was like the golden age, like for New Japan.
Hmm.
They had Kimura, Tanahashi, AJ Styles, Okada, Naito, the best. Like
So, what do you think about New Japan currently?
mm.
I know you're making that face.
the big stars like they went to AEW, WWE. So now I think they are like building new stars, like with Evil.
Oh, that was a surprise.
So I think they are building stars but from the next year, 2 years from now, maybe we'll see how it's going to.
Because I really like the work in progress that Show is doing from Roppongi 3K Show. I like him. He's changed his look up. He put on a little more muscle, and he's a little more intense, and I like that.
Rocky Romero.
No, his the tag team that's with him, Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're stars now.
mhm. What else? Ishii. Oh, that's a. I got to see him in person.
He had like 5 stars matches every week.
Mhm.
He is underrated. Like people don't talk about him like the wrestler of the year, the best wrestler of the decade. They forget about him.
Yeah, I got to see him in person, and he's really short.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah,
but
that
he
doesn't take
was the big guys, and he makes it believable.
exactly.
Yeah, made with Okada, he have like 5 stars matches with him every time they step in the ring with each other.
What do you think about Minoru Suzuki?
He's a legend.
And he has the
Maybe,
best theme song there.
oh, but he changed like the recent years.
Yeah,
I don't watch New Japan unfortunately, but he had like the best theme.
mhm. Like right now, he is still beating the crap out of people. So
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
he's a legend.
He has this real mean forearm. It's just like nobody else does it like him.
He's the best. I want to see him versus Brock Lesnar, but I
Whoa.
don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think Brock want none of that. No.
Yeah,
um, what do you think about the company AEW?
I love it. Like they are, I don't know how to say it. Like finally, another company like not WWE like produce amazing shows like weekly. I think they're better than WWE in weekly shows right now.
Right now, yeah, I can
So,
agree with that.
so like finally something new, a
Mm.
new company, everything, new stars. Interesting how they are going with WWE, like up to WWE.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on Orange Cassidy?
I wish there was a crowd for his matches now. I feel like it would be much better. But I love it. I love his stuff. He's a genius, in my opinion.
I think I watched the match. I don't know if it was this Wednesday past or the one before. So I think Jack Hager got him up by the legs, and he took his hands out his pocket and popped his
Yeah,
ears. It was just,
I did not see this. He's a genius. Like he knows his stuff. He
and
knows what he's doing.
and that's another thing too. Is just like he didn't take what the online criticism of him. He didn't say, "Oh, well, they don't like what I'm doing, so I'm gonna just stop and try something else." He just stuck with what he thought worked for him.
Yes, I saw clips like before AEW, like of him, and people like went mad at him. But the crowd in the arena, they were so happy, like so excited for Orange. Like
Mhm.
they gave him like big reaction. So why are you mad at him? Like he's over. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want more from him?
Yeah, you just got to remember there's that small piece of the internet that's just like, man.
They just hate everything. Even with my artworks, like they find everything like to hate on.
Yeah, and to like people like that, I say, if you're not trying, so you're not making anything, you're not creating anything. So why are you the one to always talk negatively?
They just want to put
Attention, probably.
yes, frustration to what they see on the internet.
Now, if you can create a match, you can have any two competitors, any two that you want. What would that match look like? Who would be your two competitors?
So Brock Lesnar and Minoris is okay.
Okay. Would you put any stipulation on the match, or would it just be a straight up wrestling match?
It has to be like any stipulation, like maybe no holds bars, maybe like not a wrestling match, just a singles match.
Now,
Has,
if you say it's no holds barred or anything like that, just a hardcore match, who do you think that benefits, Brock Lesnar or Minoru?
I think Brock would be like the one who's not selling the most. Like he's so big, maybe it would favor him more.
Yeah, he's like,
so amazing.
now, other than professional wrestling, is there any other interest that you have, like sports or anything like that?
I used to love soccer, like the biggest soccer fan.
Well, I mean, yeah, because that's popular on that side over there. Yeah. So, what happened?
I found wrestling.
All right, it makes sense then.
Yeah. I just love the wrestling more. Like,
Just know it's not too late, because I mean, you can get in them, step in them ropes, man, and try it out. Just to say you did it. I mean, you don't have to go further than that. But I did the same thing. It's just like I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, and that's something that I wanted to actually do, and I got a chance to do it before I take the big sleep. So I got to train a little bit. I took a couple bumps. I never had a official match, but I got beat up enough to where I'm like, all right, I'm good.
did you enjoy it though, or?
Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was like being a kid, man. It's like, you give a kid some toys and a cardboard box or something, and they'll make a castle and they'll play and they'll create and they'll do all kinds of things. That's how I felt when I got to step in the ring. It's just like I could create, my own style, my own thing, and and learn. And I really enjoyed it.
Storytelling in wrestling is just the best. Like, I try to do it in my artworks. Like, I want to tell a story because story is what people relate to the most. Like, not just moves, not anything. So I try like to do that in my work.
Mhm. That's why I like it was 3 WrestleManias in a row, which I always say are my 3 favorite matches. It was Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair for his retirement, and then the 2 after that with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, then Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker 2. So those are my 3 all-time favorite matches, and they all came in succession.
He retires Ric Flair, and Undertaker retires him.
But unfortunately, nobody retired The Undertaker right after that.
Yes. The end of his story, like to this day, I think it would be like better. Like maybe the match he had with AJ this year like was good, but like I want it in front of a crowd. Like like Sean, like Ric Flair. I want Taker to have this moment, but
So
he had it with Roman Reigns, but he came back unfortunately.
so yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it with you about how I feel about that
Uh,
because fans of this show know that currently, I mean, not Undertaker of old, back in the day. I mean, greatest professional wrestler of all time, Hall of Fame wrestler, greatest character in professional wrestling. But Undertaker from, let's say, from when the streak, when he lost to Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, from that point on, I was done with the Undertaker.
yeah.
I'm, I was through with it. And then the thing with Roman Reigns, like you said, I got very emotional about that because I thought that was it. I thought he was gone. He's been a part of my wrestling childhood since I first started watching wrestling. So
Yeah.
to see him go away, or what we thought,
One of my favorite wrestlers, like in when I was like 5 or 6, like I used to draw him in school, and people would tease me about it.
do you have any of that still?
I did. I don't. I wish. I wish I had them.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I've been like, post that.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, that was such an emotional moment for me because I mean, around the same time I was retiring from the military.
wow.
So to have, I felt those emotions and I was like, wow, he really hanging it up. He gonna be done wrestling. And then he came back and I was angry and I've
But,
been angry ever since.
but the match he had with Roman, like it's not a last match. Yeah.
And that's what
Quite,
he said from his face.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said from his own mouth that, you want to go out in something that's more fitting of the character. And
Maybe with Sean, like he retired like 2010. Like
yeah, when he had multiple opportunities to retire, but he never took them. he,
a missed
Triple H,
opportunity.
Triple
But
H in the Hell in the Cell at WrestleMania. That would have been the perfect one. Either
that
that or Brock
that
Lesnar.
that near fall when HBK
Yeah,
kicked him and Triple H the pedigree.
yeah,
The stadium stood up. If that was like the last, like the streak would end, it would be massive. Like
yeah.
even the match was great. Like unlike the Roman match.
Yeah, so if they would have took that, I mean, even if the streak didn't end there and that was just the last match, I would
Yeah.
have been content to my heart's desire just to like, all right, that's great. That's a
Even that was like 20. The 20, yes.
yeah, I was just like,
He like win, like retire. Like 20, I know, special.
yeah. But I mean, not to harp too much on that. I mean, it is what it is. He's done what he done, and it is what it is. But God damn, it's just like my blood boil when I start talking about that dude sometimes. I was like, you should have just went home.
Me too, man. Me too.
Um, so you're pushing yourself with your art and everything. You're getting trying to develop more skills, try to get better and everything. Is there anything else that you are interested in to try and pursue as well? I know we talked a little bit beforehand about maybe creating a YouTube channel.
Well, I have to get better, like at talking and maybe buy a studio or something.
Yeah. Or build one.
Yes.
I built this one. I
Maybe.
put it together and I was just like, I'm tired of sitting in my kids' movie room trying to record a podcast and they knocking on the door and they want to come in and watch movies while I'm recording. So I had to make my own space.
I will definitely try like a YouTube channel. But now I'm focusing on like producing artworks, like try to grow the page even more.
Well, I mean, You're doing good. As we sit right now, I'm looking at your Instagram page. 97 Abdul Malik. You can follow him on Instagram. We sitting at 41,000 followers. What is that like, man? You getting a lot of DMs other than, people like me trying to interview you and stuff?
It's so surreal. Like, I'm just someone like who loves wrestling, who just want to put or contribute to wrestling, So it's amazing. I'm so thankful for everyone who follows me.
So, can I get a sneak peek of what you got cooking next? What you working? I mean, can I get a preview?
I don't have the laptop right now.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to physically show me or whatever, but I mean, just give me an audio preview.
I have something for Jericho,
okay,
for his new band. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be soon, very soon. New band of Chris Jericho. I designed the front cover of the new single, debut single.
Now, I know you do a lot of this stuff on your own accord, and then you have, people like Jericho that reach out to you or whatever. Do you do any commission work? Like people come to you like, hey, can you do this for me and all kind of stuff like that?
I had some. The biggest one was the WWE one, and last year when Becky Lynch came to Dubai, they asked me to do that artwork, but hopefully I will get a job with or any other company hire me.
Well, other than creating your artwork and putting it out there on display or whatever, have you actually ever applied to any place for freelance stuff or anything like that?
I do freelancing for anyone that ask me and I know him.
Yeah.
Jericho, but I want to be secured,
Okay.
Because this is my only job, So I want to get a job or anything from it.
Okay, cool.
Make something from it.
All right. So we got Minoru Suzuki versus Brock Lesnar. We got the 2011 Money in the Bank. That was your favorite pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks is your favorite female competitor. Did we get the male one?
Maybe The Undertaker was my favorite.
Okay.
Childhood.
Okay, we'll let you slide with that one.
Maybe, yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm back to that burning question. What was that favorite match, man?
Maybe the Shinsuke Nakamura Ibushi one.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I apologize. I went completely off my head. Yeah, you did that.
The Banks and Bailey, NXT, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where do you see Sasha Banks going from here, man? I mean, her and Bailey got all the women's belts and everything, except for the NXT title, of course. But what do you think was next, man? Is she going to turn on Bailey? Is Bailey going to turn on her? What I need some predictions.
Yeah, I think that would happen in the end. But I'm so happy they are the stars of the shows,
Mm-hmm.
But with no crowd,
well, I mean,
it would be just so much better. Everything would be much better.
Yeah, I agree. But what I found out with this new wrestling that we have now without the crowds and everything like that, I found myself, just being more fixed on the actual wrestling in the ring rather than to listening to the noise around me. And I just, kind of discovered this because, I would watch shows when they did have crowds, and people would be like, "Oh man, it was chanting this and chanting that," and I was like, "Really? They were?" And then now I'm kind of seeing that they don't have a crowd. That I was more focused on the wrestling and not so much the atmosphere surrounded. It helps, but I'm really into the wrestling.
Ruins the match, ruins everything. The crowd sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that was another point. Is just like you didn't have the people being stupid, like John Cena sucks or you suck with Kurt Angle, and that gets on my nerves.
Or boring chants.
Yeah, that.
While the rest is working hard in the ring, like shut up.
Exactly, because like it doesn't matter if they're not up to your level of a wrestling experience. They were talented enough to get a wrestling contract and to be on your television every week. So, I mean, there is talent, there's value there. I mean, just show the proper respect.
Just watch, like Japanese crowd, like they watch the crowd.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's more like a play or opera to them. It's just like.
Yeah. But like the best crowds, like are the best, like Chicago crowds, like in the Money at the Bank 2011. They created like special environment, like
yeah.
That match was Cena and Punk with no crowd. Maybe
that would weird.
Remember? Yes.
Yeah, and it would
everything about that match.
Yeah, it would have took away just even the one moment of CM Punk jumping in the crowd with the belt and blowing the kiss Vince, and it would have took all that away. You are completely right. Now, see, but what they have now and what AEW kind of started was, they have their employees there around the ring. So that does create somewhat of a better atmosphere. But at the same time, since you have people that you pay to be there, it's not really a true reaction. So when a bad guy comes out, they go boo, boo. When a good guy comes out, they go yay, yay. So it's almost scripted crowd.
Yeah, like fake crowd noise, like from SmackDown.
Yeah,
like down. It was annoying.
Yeah, yeah, when they just be like, just booing for no reason, and people are like,
even I was like, I hate this wrestler. Why are you cheering for him? Like, stop this.
Oh, that was real evident whenever there was when they were feeling some type of way about Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Anytime he come out, they would boo at a certain point in his career or whatever. But at the time, they had them cheering for him. I was like, come on now. That's not the right sound.
Makes us like hate him even more. Yeah.
It was just
so what do you do it? Like,
who knows? Who knows?
Maybe raise the crowd's voice, but not like.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I like Roman Reigns. I don't understand the hate for him. It's just, I know at the time it was just forcing him. And, you some people get tired of that or whatever, but I don't think it was to the level of like what he was getting, just like all those boos and everything.
He's a great wrestler. Like, I like him a lot. But the way WWE like pushed him to the moon, like. Mm-hmm. He's a golden boy, like.
And he also suffers from a whole bunch of unfortunate events as well, because the times that they should have done stuff with him are the times that he was put in a good position. He was either hurt, he got sick. They had a plane delay one time. He had a wellness violation one time. All these different circumstances when he was in. Yeah, with Daniel Bryan. So it's just bad timing with him is all it is.
Hopefully he will come back like when all of this ends.
Yeah, whenever it ends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are you, I know we're quarantined and locked down all over the world and everything. What are some of the things that you're missing right now since all this has been going on?
Like meeting the wrestlers, like,
Yeah.
or even like getting a job. Like I can't like from home.
Yeah.
I have to go somewhere like for a job. But hopefully it will end.
Yeah. I mean, we can do is sit and wait, be optimistic. So, or we can sit here and podcast, talk about wrestling. I like that a lot. But sir, unfortunately, our time has elapsed, and we're gonna have to make that journey off into our separate ways. I know it's getting kind of late over there, so I want you to get enough rest so you can get up and be creative the next day. So before we go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
At 97 Abdul Malik, Twitter and Instagram.
All right. You don't have any Facebooks or nothing like that?
No, old people.
Oh, what you trying to say? I know what you know what you say old people, and I won't disagree with you on that, because the only reason I have a Facebook is because my mother sent me a friend request. So so old people, right? Yeah. But as
Man, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh man, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time and your creativity, you know. So as it is for every guest of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast, you've been on once, and the door is always open for you to come back, promote your next big thing, or just to come shoot the shit.
Anytime, man. Ask me and I will be here.
I don't know about any time because it's kind of late over there. So I mean, maybe we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. So we are clear.